Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Carol joining us. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Amanda.
Guys, so we got an exciting success story. One of Carol's clients turned around her situation and she had him on a pedestal and she got him off the pedestal to the point where he's chasing and pursuing her. And it was the other way around. So we're going to read this success story and then we're also going to give you some tips on how you can create it in your life. So I'm excited to hear it, Carol.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so this story is very special. It's very particular because the first time that she came to us, she was expressing how he was hot and cold, how he was a little standoffish, and maybe taking her for granted. At least that's how she felt about it. And we worked on the story that she was holding in place about him and their relationship. And of course, we created all the intentions on him, wanting her and loving her and pursuing it or contacting her all the time. And, he's constantly making plans to see me. He's constantly calling. He's constantly showing up, and he makes me a priority. He gives me attention. And we worked on all of that. And it worked out great because she actually manifested him showing up that way, to the point where he was, all over it. He was calling her all the time, making plans to see her. He even introduced her to his friends, gave her keys to his apartment. He was super excited. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. He planned out dates. He took her to a work function and made her like the entire night about her and you're the queen. And she was very excited because she was like, yes, this is working out. She felt powerful. This is amazing. And then one morning she just woke up to a text of him saying like, okay, that's it, it's done, I can't do this, I don't want this anymore, give me my key back. And it shook her. She was like, wait, what? this is this is not how this was supposed to go. So anyhow, she, of course, it took her by surprise. But what she did in that moment really, 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 I think it turned everything around to where she is today, and why we're sharing this, because it is in that moment when she saw his reaction, and she just kind of stepped back and she said, wait a minute, no, like that's not how you were supposed to show up. This is not what I was intending. This is not what I deserve. And she went into the state of, I am setting a boundary where if you don't show up like I want you to show up, I'm not even going to entertain you. This is her like talking to him in her head. And she just did the shift where she did not take it at all. She was like, no, I don't care what you say, you show up like I want you to show up, because I deserve better than this. And she was just affirming like, I deserve better than this. I am amazing. I am the best thing that ever happened to you. I don't know what you're talking about, because I am a blessing in your life. You're lucky that I am even looking at you. And yes, and she started working on herself, on her confidence, and she decided in that moment, and she even said, okay, I know that I can manifest him to be exactly like I want him to be. So now I'm going to work on myself and be who I want to be. And she just decided to focus on herself. She started affirming that, I am a guy magnet. I get attention everywhere that I go. I turn heads. Everyone wants to commit to me. I He's just a bonus. I'm the asset. I love that one. He's just a bonus. She made me laugh a lot with that one. Anyways, she's yes, and she even, one of the ones that I really like was, he is grateful that I chose him to be in my life. And she just kept repeating that, like, no, he's grateful that I chose him because I am a blessing in his life. He is lucky to have me. It's not the other way around. And she just kept working on that, working on that, working on that. Every time she thought of the text of him saying, I don't want this anymore, give me my key back, she would say, yes, he does. He wants this more than ever. He wants this now more than ever before. She just revised on the spot every time she would think about it, and she persisted. So a few days later, he came up to her and said, you know what? There's this confidence about you that I have never seen before. Like, what changed? And now again, he's pursuing her, but this time around it's different because now she's just like sitting back. He's constantly texting, and she's like, I don't even feel the need to text all the time. He calls, and I'll answer the phone whenever I can. I'll text back whenever I can. Everything feels natural. It doesn't feel forced because now I know that not only do I deserve this, but I know that I am the prize, that he's doing those things because he's supposed to do these things. Because when I set that boundary, I created a reality where he has to show up the way that I deserve that he shows up. And it's so amazing. I was like, this woman turned a situation around twice, you know, like
Right. That's
twice like
amazing.
this. Yes.
Well, you know, I mean, the one thing that really caught my attention with the story is, and I do this too, is I resolve to do something. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's this like little period where it's like, well, you know, do I want to manifest this? Do I, you know, you're going back and forth, you know, and then it's the day when you say, no, you know what, it's going to happen. It's going to happen now. I'm doing it. It's going to happen. And then that's really, you know, when you make that resolve, when you actually start to get those results, right? So anybody that's been sort of like, you know, sort of working on something, resolve right now. I'm gonna get this, and this happens. And the other thing I love that she did was she wasn't an acceptance the version of him. So she wasn't even going to entertain it, meaning she wasn't going to react. She's just going to keep focusing on what she wanted. And when what she didn't want to show up, she's like, whatever, I'm not even going to interact that. I'm not even going to go there. You know, like that is so good. That's, you know, exactly what we need to change our, you know, to recreate somebody when they show up the way we don't want them. It's just not giving them all that attention of reacting and freaking out over it and making it a huge deal and having the relationship talk and the
Exactly.
and all the other stuff we do to push them away, right? You know?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that because she had the story set in place where he would come and go, she knew, she's like, okay, this has happened so many times before. I am so fed up with this that this is it. This is where I draw the line. This is where I draw the line. And she actually drew, and it's, again, it's setting a boundary, but it's for yourself where you decide, I'm not taking any more of this, and I'm only going to entertain the version of you that shows up exactly like I want to experience you. Other than that, like, we're done.
Exactly. And you know what? You nailed it. That's what boundaries are. Boundaries are setting boundaries within yourself. So how would you set a boundary? So for instance, let's say everybody disrespects you, right? So how would you set a boundary? You would say, everybody in my life respects me. Everybody always respects everything. You know, always respects me. And, you know, and just by creating that, you create that you are respected, and those people automatically will respect you. That's how we create boundaries. We create them and other people will respect them.
Exactly. That is exactly it. And I think that when many times when we think of setting boundaries, we think of maybe telling that person, oh, I'm not taking this anymore, and kind of give them ultimatums, but that's not really what a boundary is. It's actually pulling yourself together and understanding that you deserve better than that, understanding that I'm not even going to go there, and not letting yourself go there, because it's so easy for us to get back into that cycle. And when you set that boundary, you don't allow yourself to get back into this cycle of, okay, I'll take what I can get. No, I'm not going to take what I can get. I am taking what I want.
Exactly. So I love that clarification. So with this client, she didn't go up and say, look at buddy, when you're acting like this, I'm not, no. We did not go to him. We did not say anything, right? So the best way, right, is especially because you don't want to, you know, it's not really about ignoring them. It's just about, you know, what Carol said is not going back to interact with it. Okay. So if you're looking to change someone's behavior and they show up late, okay, and you want them to start showing up on time, it's not about going, well, that's it. If you're late, I'm just not getting in the car with you. It's not even about that. It's about, okay, well, look at, you know what, it's just, you know, not freaking out and reacting over them being late, just accepting it, right, and appreciating it, and then intending that they're going to be on time and be on time and be on time, and just keep focusing on what you want. It's not about, you know, freaking out, reacting, 30-day no contact rule. It's just about not going down that road. So when they call you at 2 a.m. in the morning because they just want to come over quickly, about, maybe not answering the phone at that point and intending they call you the next day as well because they
Yeah.
actually want to hang out. So it's not about, outwardly saying, no, I'm not putting up with this.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always had this thought where when something that you don't like happens and you react to it, like in her situation, she could have just reacted to that text. When he told her, he was like, okay, fine, if that's what you want, right? And I always say when you react to things, then you have two problems to fix, because then you're going like, crap, I reacted, but I also have to affirm what I want to see. So now I have to react and revise for the reacting and revise for what I was like. No, just drop it. Just drop it. And you only have one problem to fix, and that's continue persisting on what you want to see instead of that. And you can actually pat yourself on the back that you didn't react.
Exactly. And it's like I say, there's nothing wrong with reacting. You'll still get your manifestation if you react. You're just going to have way more work to do to get it, which is fine if you want it. Like, I mean, there's no right or wrong here, right?
Yep. Hey, I've reacted.
I remember I was at this dinner once, and it was with Andrew, and I don't know what happened. Things went south really quickly. Don't even know why. So then I ended up reacting and going to the bathroom, right? And then but then I did turn everything around, in the bathroom. But then when I came out, it still went on some more, and I was like, oh man, it's like calm, and then it shifted, So had I not reacted, it would have been after I came back, it would have been fine. But there was just a little bit left, I was like, really?
Yeah, because I think when we react, we succumb to our emotions, and the thing is, and our emotions got there in the first place by our thoughts. So we have to go straight up here every time, straight up here, straight up here. And don't get me wrong, I also react, even knowing what I know. I have my moments. I'm human, and I laugh about it later. In the meantime, it's not so funny.
No, I know, exactly. And then, you know what? Sometimes the next day you look back and you're like, I don't even know why that was such a big deal yesterday.
Yep.
Like, honestly, like, it was like, wow. There's things I was worried about a week ago that I go now. I'm like, well, that makes no sense. I don't even know why I'm worried about that.
Exactly. Well, I'm telling you, this woman is my hero, because yes, and she even and when we started talking, she's like, I literally just booked this appointment because I just want to share how my life has changed. Like, I have absolutely no complaints. I just want to share with you how my life has changed since the last time I did coaching, because it clicked in my head. So the entire session was about what she did to get where she is right now, how it just clicked in her head about her putting herself up in that pedestal. She put him there in the first place, so it's like I'm just up there accompanying him.
Right. Well, exactly. And I was guilty of this way back when I first started all this, was, taking someone off a pedestal. I thought that was meaning like, talking bad about them and saying they're not all that great, but that's actually not what it is. It's about building yourself up, leaving them up there. You deserve to have someone great, and you've created them to be wonderful. But now start building yourself up to be that amazing person, and that's how you take them off the pedestal. And that's how you get them to chase you and pursue you, because you say that you're the prize, you're the one that they want, and you're the one that they chase after constantly. Right. So once you start creating those about your self-concept, it also creates them to the space for them to chase you and think that you're the prize and tell you how lucky they are to have you. Oh, I like that
exactly. One. I know, exactly. And I always say, like, when I look at my partner, I look at him like, I am so creative. How wonderful am I that I created something so amazing? I actually take credit for it. I pat myself on the back. He's like, I made all this. How good am I? But I take credit for it.
Right on.
I take all the credit for it. I was like, yep. And I'm not going to create someone that that makes me feel like I'm not good enough for them. Of course not. Like, if I created him, that automatically makes me the expert in what he wants, what he needs, how he behaves. I'm the expert because it's my creation in the first place. So, and I always say, when there is they see a piece of work, they admire the piece of work, but they always congratulate the art, so
that's amazing. I love it.
It is true.
Thank you so much for being here today, Carol. Amazing.
You're welcome.
And guys, if you would like any help with coaching and to create results in your life, Carol is available for coaching. The link is in the description below. And guys, guess what? We have merch in the merch store. Jewelry coasters. I know.
I want one.
A mug. They come in sets of 4, actually. You get 4. They're all over my house. We love our Jerry coasters. And there's mugs that say you're the creator of your reality and stuff. They're just little reminders, you know. So definitely check out the merch store. Link is in the description. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.